Hello, and welcome to another BTFO. Today we're going to be talking about rental family and sentimental value. These are both brand new 2025 films that have recently released, and we're going to talk about both of them. So we'll start with Rental Family. Rental Family stars Brendan Fraser as an actor from America over in Japan who gets hired to essentially play different roles in people's lives, and it's really interesting. I really like Rental Family quite a bit. It's one of those movies where you can tell that they had a clear, core idea or theme, and they just nailed it over and over and over again. Like, they were just like, okay, how can we flesh this out? Can we use this to flesh this out? Can we use this to flesh this out? And it's really neat. And I really like that, we have Brendan Fraser. We mainly focus on three different people that he helps, three different roles that he plays, and it's really neat. Where especially the end of the film makes you drives it home that oh yeah, these are all introspections for his character, that they all do kind of represent his past, present, and future. How does he want to be remembered? What mistakes were made by other people in his life that he could try and make up for in these other people's lives? And it's really neat. It's really well fleshed out. I don't know. I suppose I would call it heartwarming. But that, I don't know, that almost feels too Hallmark-esque, because it's no, this is a lot deeper than anything that I've ever seen Hallmark produce. It's one of those movies that will pull on your heartstrings and stuff, and is really good if you actually want to engage with it. So yeah, I would really recommend Rental Family. It's a little hard to talk about the plot without just spoiling everything, and I kind of don't want to do that because I want people to see Rental Family. I think it is very much worthwhile kind of going in blind, and experiencing the story for yourself. I do think that this is very much a movie that you kind of experience rather than just sort of a narrative that you absorb, right? And so yeah, I would highly recommend Rental Family. It's definitely one of my top films of the year. I don't think it's number one, but it's up there. And then moving on to Sentimental Value. This is a Norwegian film, and it stars Stellan Skarsgård, as well as, let's find out what her name was. Sorry, I'm bad with names, especially Norwegians. But what? That's not what I'm after. Let's see. Cast. Okay. Renate Renevies. I think I said that correctly. Um, she plays Nora. Um, she's really good in this film. Uh, but so Sentimental Value is um, uh, it's kind of, I don't know, it's a neat pairing with Rental Family because I want to say that it's almost on the other end of the spectrum from Rental Family, where like it is a lot more negative, I suppose, than Rental Family, but I don't want to like, it's not a depressing film, really. Like it's not really what it's going for, but it's just sort of dealing with like if Rental Family dealt with a lot of introspection around like lighter emotions and like the happier aspects of, say, like legacy, Sentimental Value deals with kind of the more like negative aspects of legacy and the, you know, the anger and frustration of a lot of situations and introspections. But it's kind of neat where Stellan Skarsgård played as Gustav Borg, and he's a filmmaker who like he made a film about like children in the Holocaust. Like it starred one of his daughters, and then after that he really didn't make a whole lot else. And his daughters grew up, but he wasn't really around. He had a falling out with their mother. Now she has passed away, and so he ends up coming back home and kind of just tries to reinsert himself into their lives, and he tries to have his daughter play a role in this movie that he wants to make that will all be shot at their old house, and it's supposed to star his daughter, or his eldest daughter. I think she's the older daughter. Yeah, no, she is. And she doesn't really want a part in it, because she's upset with him. And so then he goes and he finds Elle Fanning, and she plays this popular American actress, and he convinces her to do the role. And it's kind of neat because the whole time there's this big dynamic of, is he just trying to make his daughter jealous, like, or is he trying to kind of turn Elle Fanning into his daughter? Is it really about his daughter, or is the film he's trying to make about his mother? And like there's a lot of really neat stuff, especially about sort of legacy and the way we might want to do things versus how they turn out, where like I really like they have a scene where basically Gustav has insisted that despite what Netflix want, he's gonna like shoot it with the same guy that he shot all of his movies with. And they're like, okay, well, like, you have to be the one to go talk to that guy, because like that guy really doesn't, you know, like he's basically retired. And he's like, oh, don't worry, like he'll come out of retirement for me. So he goes to talk to him, and the guy like kind of stands up and then like gets out a cane and starts like hobbling around on a cane, and he's like, I'm thinking of doing it all like track shots and dollies, very very little handheld. And it's just funny because it's like, well, yeah, that's his capability. He can't really do that anymore. And it's this really kind of neat realization for Gustav that, like, yeah, as much as I might want things to go a certain way, and as much as, like, I might be willing, he might be willing, like, there's everyone wants this to turn out a certain way, but it just might not be possible. That, just because of time, because of what has happened, because of the things that we can't change, we can't exactly have the things that we want as we want them. And that's kind of the running theme for the movie that comes up a lot with the daughter, Nora, who she's basically the main character. Her and Gustav are like kind of neck and neck for main character, but Nora is the one that the story kind of centers around. For as dark as the movie can get, it does have a lot of levity in there, a lot of which works really well. Like, a lot of stuff is really fun, where it's kind of funny where, like, they get Netflix to produce the movie, and the, like, interviewers like, oh, like, like, will this movie be, like, shown in theaters, since, this is Netflix, and, like, all your other movies have been shown in theaters? And Gustav, being kind of the old man that's a little out of touch with his industry, he's like, well, of course, like, where else would it be shown? Everyone kind of pauses, and, like, the Netflix producer rushes in to be like, I mean, we're still negotiating the contract on that, so, we won't count it out of the question, but, like, just know that nothing's final yet. And, like, the interviewer asks, Elle Fanning's character, Rachel Kemp, he asks her, like, oh, you were in, like, this one movie that, like, really didn't do all that well. How does that feel? And she kind of is like, well, like, I'm so proud of, like, the work that I did on that movie. Then, like, Gustav cuts in and is like, what the fuck? Like, why would you ask her that? Like, are you retarded? Like, don't do that. Like, like, she's this, like, huge American actress, and she's coming into the Norwegian film scene, and, like, is gonna really boost our industry over here, basically. So, like, maybe don't try and antagonize her, okay? Like, it's kind of interesting, where it's like, yeah, it's funny, but also, like, I don't know, I doubt you'd ever get an interviewer that would actually ask that question. But yeah, there's a lot of little bits of humor. It's a movie a lot about exploring people's, like, flaws, and sort of why do they have them, can they overcome them, and, like, how do they define who we are, essentially. And yeah, it's a really neat movie. I really like Sentimental Value. I don't know that I would put it above Rental Family. I think Rental Family is still, I like that a bit more. But these are both really well made movies, and so yeah, if you can find a screening of either of them, I know, unfortunately, just watching them over the Thanksgiving weekend, just walking around the theater, it was just wicked, 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 Zootopia, Zootopia, Zootopia. And it's like, goddamn, like, yep, they've only got like 3 theaters that are playing anything other than those 2 movies. But if you can find a screening, I would highly recommend either one of these. I don't know, it shouldn't have to be said, I guess, but Sentimental Value is largely subtitles. I did find it funny because there was a couple in the screening that I watched where they like walked out of the theater like a good like 10-15 minutes into the movie right before they started speaking English, because I guess they were just like, oh, I can't handle this, even though it's like, I don't know, man. If you watch the trailer, like, the trailer makes it pretty obvious that, like, yeah, they're gonna be speaking a different language for a lot of the movie, but it's like, okay, man, like, you know, it's like, if it's fine, just learn to read, I guess. I don't know. Like, I know some people just can't handle subtitles, but to me, it's like, okay, I don't know why you bought a ticket for this movie then. And Rental Family has some subtitles, but really not a whole lot. Rental Family, I'm kind of surprised with Rental Family, just because I really do think that more of it could have had subtitles than just had like them speaking Japanese, but a lot of it they chose, nah, they're gonna speak English instead. It's like, oh, okay. Like, it never feels inorganic, it's just always kind of surprising, where it's like, oh, this is a story in Japan about Japanese people. You'd think they'd speak more Japanese, but I guess they're all just fine speaking English. So yeah, so I don't know, if you have a problem with subtitles, Sentimental Value probably isn't for you. But if you're, you know, able to read, then, you know, Sentimental Value and Rental Family are both really good, and I would recommend them both. So, thank you for watching, and bye-bye.